Hi everyone, this is Wendy. This is Wendy's Parade of Perfume. Here on this channel, I just talk about the perfumes that I have on my shelf and what I feel like talking about and what I'm wearing. So I live in the Midwest and it's the latter half of November and it's finally started to cool off. It's been in the 80s until now. Anyway, moving on. It's finally cool enough to wear ambers. I love amber perfumes. However, I can only wear them when it's cold out. The idea of wearing like a true amber perfume in the hot weather just makes me feel a little so I'm happy. So let's get started. I think I have about 18 bottles to share with you all. I could have done more as usual, but you got to stop somewhere. In the Prada category, who knew that Prada had so many ambers? I have 4. Let's start with the obvious, Prada perfumes that have the word amber in them. This is the original Prada Amber. This is old. This is like a classic, what I think of as like a chewy amber. It's a rosy amber. To me, it verges on being a little bit sweet. It's pretty heavy on the vanilla, but it is just a solid glob of amber. And it wears like hell. It wears strong. You need 2 sprays. And it's a classic amber. And I'm glad it's still around. I'm pretty sure it's still around. So that to start with is Prada Amber. The flanker to Prada Amber, this is not around anymore. This is the second bottle I've used up, or a second bottle I've been working on. This is Prada Low Ambree, which I do not think is available anymore. This is like the darker version of the original Prada Amber. However, it does not wear as loud. So this is much more resinous. It has a lot more like a smoky incensey effect, but the rose is more demure and it does not wear as strong. It wears more like a skin scent. Between the two, I like this one better just because I tend to go for the darker stuff. But yeah, Prada Low Ambree, I don't think this is available anymore. Opposite end, super sweet amber. This is Prada Candy Low. I believe that this is the only discontinued Prada candy that they have. And this is actually the only Prada candy that I own. A little surprised that I like this. This is light enough that I can wear it a little bit in the summertime. It has a bright citrus top. It has a very pretty sweet pea floral note in the middle. And the bottom is like a full-on vanillic amber. Probably a little bit more vanilla than amber, but vanilla is part of the amber accord. And I don't know, I've always gotten a kick out of this one. I've always liked the color. And this is Prada Candy Low. I like that one a lot. This one I actually have a box for. This is an amber. I don't feel like I've heard a lot of people talking about this one. This is one of the La Femmes. This is a flanker, but this is the Absolu flanker. And this one is a little bit strange in a good way. I like strange perfumes. Plus I think it has a pretty cool bottle. Okay, so let's see. Prada Absolute. Sorry, I can't always keep track of all the flankers, man. There's the Intense and there's the Eau de Parfum and then there's the Absolute. So anyway, Prada La Femme Absolute. This starts out with an odd, almost soapy note. It's super intense and super bright, but it is very heavy on the orange blossom. And to some people, orange blossom can smell a little bit soapy, and to me this smells a little bit soapy. So it has a huge hit of orange blossom along with a couple florals. There's a very odd, again, note called there's like a broom flower note. I don't know what that smells like in real life, but that's what the floral note is. And then the magic really happens when this dries down. This dries down to the most wonderful forested tolu balsam vanilla amber accord. If you like that sort of thing. I like foresty notes. So it just, plus I don't think I have a perfume that actually smells like this. So just the dry down, it's just a click dry down. I love it. I love this one. Anyway, Prada La Femme Absolu flanker. So those are my Pradas. Those are my Prada Ambers. I don't know if there's any other Prada Ambers out there. Anyway, in the you can smell it at Sephora category. This is a Givenchy Gentleman Privee. This one is so cozy. It's so cozy and wonderful. This is a more patchouli based amber. Now, some people feel like this is boozy. I don't find this one to be very boozy. This one has a huge hit of iris. That's the floral note. And then as it dries down, to me, it turns into a bed of chocolatey ambered patchouli. Very patchouli heavy. Patchouli haters are not going to like this. But only for cold weather, for cozying up, this is absolutely stunningly wonderful. And if you're ever in Sephora, or I think Sephora sells Givenchy, Sephora or Ulta, wherever, give it a sniff. I know it's in the men's shelf, but I think anyone that likes ambers would like this. Highly recommended. Givenchy Privee, Reserve Privee. The next one is also very accessible. This is all over YouTube. This is Burberry Goddess Eau de Parfum. I'm satisfied with this. I know they've come out with a flanker. I'm probably never even going to bother testing it. I was very surprised at this one too, because I kind of bought this on a lark last year. I had a coupon at Ulta, and there was something else I wanted to buy, and I kind of just threw this in my cart, because when do you get coupons at Ulta for full perfume bottles? Anyway, I think a lot of you probably know what this smells like, but I was impressed that this is a vanillic amber, but it's spicy. It has a very strong licorice accord. It has a very strong ginger note. So it comes off as this like herbal lavender, herbal licorice, spicy ginger, vanilla amber. And this lasts forever. Oh my gosh, if you do a couple sprays of this, this will last all day. Again, don't listen to me. If you haven't smelled this, go check it out, because you can. It's accessible. Get them to unlock the tester for you. Where I live, all the testers are locked up now because we can no longer have nice things. But that's another subject. Anyway, that was Burberry Goddess. So the next categories coming up are just kind of generalized designer, a couple niche and a couple vintage. One of my favorite aliens is actually Alien Eau de Toilette. This was the first Alien I ever got. I only got the Eau de Parfum even as a, just to fill in the blank a little bit. This is my little second bottle. I only buy the 1 ounce bottles because look how cute it is. It's just the cutest little bottle ever. Everyone knows Alien. It is, again, another honestly kind of oddball. I think enough people have smelt it that people have become used to the way the jasmine in this fragrance smells, but it's almost bordering on synthetic, but huge jasmine, huge amber, a little bit on the sweeter side, lots and lots and lots of sillage, especially the original one, especially when it first came out. It's been Mugler got bought out, as all companies do, but this to me, I think this isn't even the L'Oreal version, because it's not Terry Mugler anymore, it's just Mugler. And I'm rambling about this a little bit, but this to me still smells like Alien. And I've always liked the Eau de Toilette better, but that's just me. So Alien Eau de Toilette, good for cooler weather. I don't wear Alien very much, but I do once or twice a year in the fall. One of my absolute favorite ambers of all time, among other things, is Chanel Coco. This is a spicy amber. It's a floral amber. This happens to be a bottle of the Eau de Toilette. I also have the Eau de Parfum. The Eau de Toilette is a little bit easier to wear, and it's a little bit more woody, where the Eau de Parfum is a little bit, in my opinion, more floral and things like that. But ooh, this is just heavy on the spicy fruits, heavy on the woods, heavy on the amber, heavy on the everything. This was made in 1984, so y'all know what the perfume footprint of that time was. It was heavy, it was spicy, it was like you could smell it across the room. And this is still a wonderful fragrance to wear today, and that is Coco Eau de Toilette. Let's just keep with Chanel. I have 2 Chanels on here. Another classic, can't believe this is classic already. I kind of remember when this perfume came out. This is Coco Mademoiselle, but this is the Intense. I'm a big fan of Coco Mademoiselle. I still like that perfume a lot. I can't tell which one I like better. They did a great job on the Intense. Ooh, these are hard to slide out. Maybe I should wear this today. I love Coco Mad. There's something about it. That the original Fruit Chuli, right? But the Intense is, let's see. Dare I say it's not stronger than the original one, but I think it maybe lasts a little bit longer. It's a little bit more vanillic and a little bit more hit on the amber versus maybe the hit on the patchouli, although patchouli is part of amber. But this is a super great amber for fall. That is Eau de Parfum Intense by Chanel, Coco Mademoiselle. Those are all my Chanels. Coco, Coco Mad Intense. Let's have an Estee Lauder for good measure. This is Estee Lauder Amber Mystique. They were practically giving this away a few years ago. And, you know, I have FOMO. So I got a bottle of it when they were selling it for about $20. This is a lovely, obviously, amber. It's called Amber Mystique. This is a raspberry rose focused amber. Big hit of rose, big hit of fruity raspberry, just melds together perfectly. Kind of smells like almost like a stewed raspberry jam next to a bed of roses on a gorgeous Estee Lauder bed of amber. And it's just a beautiful rosy amber. If this is still around and it's affordable, I highly recommend it. It wears like a dream, wears like a monster if you're into that sort of thing. And it's Estee Lauder. They used to. I mean, they've kind of changed their direction, but, you know, I always thought that they made good perfumes. So that's Amber Mystique. So this is one that I've had on my shelf, and I don't wear it that much, but I kind of dragged it out this fall, and I've been testing it again. This is Calvin Klein, one of the Euphorias, Amber Gold. There is something so pleasantly dated about this one. I don't know, maybe because I never wore Euphoria, so I don't know if this smells like Euphoria or not. This is like stewed fruity, slightly resinous, honeyed amber. It's a little bit sweet, but it has enough of like this grittiness going on in the background that it doesn't just fall into horrible sweetness category. I don't know. Does anybody else have this? I've never seen anybody really talk about this. And you can see it's like pretty much 99.9% full. I've hardly worn this. I don't even remember when or where I bought this. But the one thing I will say about this is that it has like a note progression, but it goes fast. So the top notes are a little bit like smoky incense. And the middle notes are like a kind of like a bright stewed fruity thing, and then it just like gets to the dry down, like an ambery honey dry down really quickly, like within 30 minutes. And but still, it's a good amber. This sign reminds me of something that you may find at like the Burlington Coat Factory or something. So if you bump into it and you're in the mood, you know, I like it. Okay, let's do a couple niches. The one niche I know I've seen before because I love Annick Goutal. Every time I say Annick Goutal, an angel gets their wings. I think this is still available. It's just been repackaged. This is Amber Fetiche, one of their ambers. And whew, this is a gorgeous, solid, smoky incense amber. And I love it. And it just smells like amber. I am operating on the effect that most people that wear perfume have an idea of what amber perfumes smell like. So that's why I'm not getting into the breakdown constantly. But if you like an amber with a hit of smoke, a hit of incense, a hit of resin, a little bit on the darker side, but as it dries down, turns into like a pleasantly sweet amber, this is the one. So that is Annick Goutal Amber Fetiche. Ooh, get you back in there. The next one is a perfume from the 1980s called Pliska, Pliska. I'm not even sure who this Pliska person is. Does anybody know? This is a heavy patchouli amber. The Estee Lauder I was talking about, that's like a rose patchouli. This is a geranium patchouli. Geranium with like a, almost, this sounds kind of gross, but an orange creamsicle, orange blossom. It's like this creamy orange with geranium and patchouli, but the patchouli, it's like good enough to eat. It's like that chocolatey patchouli kind. Ugh, this smells so good. The way I'm describing it to some people that like me that maybe are more into like darker perfumes and like oak moss, this will be like a gourmand for some people, but for the average person it's probably not because, you know, the perfumes are just so sweet now. Anyway, this is a old niche perfume that's probably been in and out of production called Pliska. It's a patchouli amber and it's freaking fabulous. I love it. All I have of this next perfume is a decant. I'll probably never own a full bottle of this house because they're very expensive, but this is a Francis Kurkdjian. This is not Grand Soir. I think this is discontinued. This is the Absolu pour le Soir. As much as you guys can see that. So this is another one of their ambers, and I only have a decant, but I should start wearing this because I'm afraid it's going to evaporate, and even though I've had this decant for several years, I wear this a couple times a year and I'm good. This has a hit of smoke and it has a hit of cumin. People get very scared of the cumin note in here. To me, it just smells like a little spicy poof of cumin, and it's not very long lasting, so it's nothing to be afraid of. And then it gets like super honeyed. So the kind of amber in here is a super honeyed amber. The performance is really nice. I only need like 2 or 3 sprays of this. This to me though does not warrant the $400 price tag that these bottles sell for. That's just me. But I'm very happy with my decant and I do enjoy wearing this. So I wanted to put that on the list. Plus I should probably start wearing it. Okay, let's do some vintages. So you guys all know that I'm a Guerlain girl. I think we'll end on Guerlain. So we'll just end with that. So an old amber is from Dana. That is Tabu. Yes, this does have a skank note in there. This amber to me kind of smells a tiny bit like cigarette smoke. It smells like burning candle wax. It smells a little bit like incense. And yes, I do not recommend drowning in this. This does happen to be vintage. I have no idea what the drugstore version of this smells like now because this does happen to be an old bottle. I would not if you ever get near this or you find a bottle, don't drench yourself in it. I usually actually decant this into a roller ball and wear it that way. Very nice that way, but this would get overwhelming, especially for our tastes today, because it is a skanky amber. It is a dirty amber. Very nice to wear though. And that is Dana Tabu. I only wear this when it's super cold out because it's much and it's not of today's tastes. It smells like back in the day tastes. Sorry, I only have a mini of this one, but this is one of my favorite Shalimars from Guerlain. This is a mini of Shalimar in the Parfum de Toilette. So, little history lesson. This is what I consider to be the first flanker of Shalimar. You know, back in the day, there was the perfume. They've had Shalimar cologne. Eau de Cologne has been available for many years. But in the 80s and the mid-80s, Jean-Paul Guerlain of the Guerlain family decided to put out a Parfum de Toilette, which in the 80s, the Parfum de Toilette, even in the 70s probably, that meant that it was an eau de parfum concentration. So they would have like an eau de toilette and a parfum de toilette. This, if you can find it, they should really even bring this back, this formula. This is better than all those Shalimar flankers they've been putting out lately. This vanilla is divine. That being said, the way the vanilla functions in Shalimar Parfum de Toilette, it doesn't overtake the whole thing. It's not just a vanilla bomb. The bergamot is beautiful on the top. This version has less of that like gasoline-y, leathery aspect to it. I enjoy that, but this has less of those like harsher Shalimar notes, and it leans more into the rose and the jasmine and the heart are absolutely beautiful. I just think that in the 80s they were able to use like better florals than they have now. The florals are beautiful in here. And then the vanilla dries down and the vanilla is it's just divine. I don't even know where they got it from. What did they do? Where did the vanilla in this come from? So it's like a vanilla floral with a little bit of sandalwood and like a smidgen of leather. So it is still that like woody Shalimar Amber dry down, but the vanilla in here is just beautiful. This is like the best. I just dab this on me once in a while. This is strong too, even though it's eau de parfum, parfum de toilette. In the 80s, they did not screw around with perfume. So all I have to do is put a few drops on me and it wears like a parfum practically. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that out and talk about it a little bit. So that is Shalimar Parfum de Toilette, classic amber. And another classic amber. This is just a flanker though. Samsara, but this is the Shine flanker. This is the only bottle of this flanker that I have. I should probably get another one just for posterity. I don't wear this very often. So this smells like Samsara. It has the jasmine. It has the sandalwood. It has those like creme brulee, coconutty, vanillic amber notes in there, but it also has a lot of greenery, and they added a fig note on top. It's kind of it's not a fresh fig. It's not a fig leaf. It's like a dried fruit fig. Anyone that's ever smelled the difference, I've actually smelled fresh fig leaves. Those smell green and milky and like light, and actual figs can smell very heavy because it's a dried fruit. Anyway, I just wanted to end on a Samsara. I should probably do a review for this and give this more attention. You see, I'm loath to wear this one because it's the only bottle of Samsara Shine that I have, and I have hoarding tendencies and I get scared that things are going to run out, but I'm old and I can't take it with me, so I should just probably start wearing this. But anyway, Samsara, among other things, Samsara is sandalwood and jasmine and, you know, the whole kitchen sink, but Samsara also has a very heavy amber aspect, and especially this one. It's sweet, it's vanillic, it's figgy, and it's a nice amber, and that is Samsara Shine. Okay. That's my little amber tray for fall/winter of 2024. What ambers have you been wearing and how have you been doing? And let me know what you think, or even just say hi, because I like to respond to everybody. And I hope to see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.